You've heard of Thomas Edison, the inventor, the genius, the man who invented the light bulb. But have you heard of Granville T. Woods, the man they called the Black Edison? Although, honestly, I think Edison should have been called the White Woods, because Granville Woods held over 60 patents in electrical and mechanical engineering. He beat Edison in court over a patent dispute, and he revolutionized the railway system with inventions Edison couldn't even imagine. This is his story and what he teaches us about instinct. Hi again, everybody. It's Shar, and this is my 6th and final video in my Black History Month series, where we've been highlighting Black pioneers and inventors in the trades and industrial fields. We talked about McKinley Thompson, who designed the Ford Bronco. We talked about Elijah McCoy, whose lubrication system kept trains running smoothly. And then we talked about Adrian Bennett, who became the first Black woman master plumber. Then we met Alice Parker, who invented modern home heating. And then we talked about Mary Mahoney, who spent 15 years preparing before becoming the first Black licensed nurse. Now, today I want to talk about Granville T. Woods. He was the first African-American mechanical electrical engineer, the most prolific Black inventor of his era, the man who made trains safe by teaching them how to talk to each other. Granville Woods was born in April 23rd in 1856 in Columbus, Ohio. His parents were freed slaves who couldn't afford to send him to college. So at the age of 10, Granville started to work. He worked as an apprentice in a machine shop, learning to be a machinist and a blacksmith. He was self-taught. He read every book he could find on electrical and mechanical engineering. He studied at night while working during the day. Eventually, he saved up enough money so he can attend college and study engineering formally. He became the first African American to become a licensed mechanical and electrical engineer. And then after college, Granville worked on the railroads. Like Elijah McCoy, he was a fireman. He also became a railroad engineer and a steam locomotive engineer. During that time, he saw a problem. And that problem was literally just killing people. And in the 1880s, trains couldn't communicate with each other. They couldn't warn each other of dangers ahead. If you were on a train and you had no idea if another train was even coming towards you on the same track, the only way to send a message was to stop the train and find a telegraph office, send a telegram, and wait for a response. People were literally dying because trains were colliding, derailing. They were crashing because they couldn't even talk to each other. And Granville Woods looked at this problem and thought, what if trains could communicate while they were moving? Not after they stop, not when they reach a station, or while they were moving. There was no textbook or any information on how to do this. No one had ever done it. But Granville saw the solution. In 1887, Granville Woods invented the multiplex telegraph, also called the induction telegraph or block system. In the trades, we call what Woods did troubleshooting. Except he wasn't troubleshooting one train. He was troubleshooting an entire industry. And here's how it worked. Telegraph wires ran along the railroad tracks. Wood designed a system that allowed moving trains to send and receive messages over those wires while the train was moving. Now, trains can communicate with each other and with stations while they were moving. It was revolutionary. Engineers could warn each other about obstacles ahead. Stations could tell trains to slow down or to stop. Trains could report the location in real time. Railway safety was transformed overnight. Granville Woods didn't just stop there. Over his lifetime, he received over 50 patents in electrical and mechanical engineering. He invented the multiplex telegraph, an improved air brake system, an automatic circuit breaker, a railway telegraphy system, a telephone transmitter, an electric railway system, and tunnel construction methods for electric railroads. He was solving problems faster than anyone else could even see them. And here's where the story gets really interesting. Thomas Edison tried to claim he invented the multiplex telegraph first. Edison challenged Woods' patent in court, and Woods won. You know why? Because Woods kept better records. He documented his process. He had his rigging tight. That's why Edison couldn't shake him off in front of a judge. Woods had the proof, and Edison had the audacity. And the judge sided with the proof. After that, Edison tried to buy Woods' patents multiple times, and Woods refused. He wasn't interested in selling his innovations to someone who tried to steal the credit. That's why they started calling him the Black Edison. But honestly, Edison should have been called the White Woods. Because while Edison was taking credit for other people's inventions, Granville Woods was actually inventing the future. Now, despite his brilliance, Granville Woods faced constant racism. Companies would try to steal his patents. Investors wouldn't fund his work because he was black. He had to defend his inventions in court over and over again. And then in 1890, he moved his facilities from Ohio to New York City, hoping for better opportunities. But unfortunately, the discrimination followed him. Even when his inventions were saving lives and revolutionizing industries, he struggled to get the recognition and financial support he well deserved. Granville Woods died on January 30th in 1910 at the age of 53, and he died broke. Despite holding over 60 patents, despite revolutionizing railway safety, despite being one of the most prolific inventors of his era, he died without the wealth or recognition he greatly deserved. But his inventions lived on. The railway communication systems we use today are built on his foundation. Every time trains communicate with each other, we're seeing Granville Woods' instinct at work. And here's what Granville T. Woods' story teaches us about instinct. Instinct is seeing solutions to problems that don't have textbook answers. The railway communication problem was literally killing people. Everyone knew it. Everybody knew that was a huge problem, but only Granville Woods saw the electrical solution. He didn't look at electricity the way everybody else did, as just a power source for lights and machines. He saw it as a communication tool. He saw it as a way to make moving trains talk to each other. Nobody taught him that in a textbook, and nobody showed him how to do it. He had to imagine it first, then figure out how to build it. Granville had the iron, the technical training, the first black licensed mechanical electrical engineer. He had the patents, the engineering knowledge, but what made him extraordinary was his instinct. He saw connections others couldn't see. He imagined solutions others couldn't even imagine. He saw electricity differently. Now, earlier in the series, we talked about Elijah McCoy, the black inventor that created the automatic lubricator that kept trains running smoothly. Now, McCoy handled the mechanical friction and lubrication. Woods handled the electrical communication and safety. Together, those two, they were the two pillars of modern railroad. McCoy kept the engines lubricated and so trains didn't have to stop for maintenance, and Woods kept the trains safe so they could communicate and keep moving. And both had to fight for recognition while Edison and other white inventors were stealing the credit and the money. So, if you're an outlier in the trades right now, here's what Granville Woods teaches us. Iron gets you in the door, and instinct makes you invaluable. You need the technical skills, the certifications, the trainings, the expertise. That's your iron. But the problems you'll face in your career won't be in textbooks. You'll encounter challenges that require you to see solutions nobody thought of yet. That's your instinct. And here's the part that matters. Document your work. Keep your rigging tight. Woods beat Edison in court because he kept better records. So if you're an outlier, people will try to take your credit for your ideas. They will try to claim your innovations. Your documentation is your defense. File that patent, save the emails, and keep the receipts. Because when they come for you, your records are what will save you. Granville T. Woods was the first African American electrical and mechanical engineer. The man who made trains safe. The inventor who beat Edison in court. The man they called the Black Edison, even though I believe that Edison should have been called the White Woods. He held over 60 patents. He revolutionized railway safety, and he died broke and not recognized. But his instinct changed the world, and his documentation saved his legacy. You're standing on his shoulders. Thank you. Check out the pre-ride checklist and the app on the8secondlife.com. And keep an eye out for the Iron and Instinct assessment coming soon so you can find out if you lead with technical competence or connection and learn how to balance both. Because iron gets you in the door. Instinct makes you the person they call when the problem seems impossible. And documentation protects what you build. Tomorrow, I'm going to post a bonus video connecting all 6 Black pioneers we've highlighted this month and what they teach us about the cash system, and as well as iron and instinct leadership. Thank you, everybody. Stay in the middle.